While this video isn't about anime, I think this news right here about Yakuza, this Yakuza competitor being shut down is honestly tragic to me. The fact that Nagoshi Studio is not being funded anymore, that is crazy to me. Because this is a studio that has so much potential. Like this studio, they got founded in 2021, October 2021. They haven't even made their first game yet. Like the fact that this guy is so legendary. Nagoshi here, he had been with Sega since 1989, and he had had so much of a positive role for Sega here. Like Sega, it had bloomed due to him. He had become one of the faces of Sega until his departure. Like he had had so many IPs under his belt, whether it's Sonic and of course the Yakuza series, what he's most known for. Like the classic Yakuza series has been one of my favorite genres and favorite franchises in general. Like Yakuza, like you have not played Yakuza, like I highly recommend you play it because this guy has such a big role in that genre. Like it is so crazy how good Yakuza was to be something so niche. And to see it grow to where it has been over the years is so wholesome. Like we got Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4. Like Yakuza 3, this thing was good. Like this thing was good. Yakuza Kiwami though, that wasn't really the best. It was not that great. Like it was very far removed of what made Yakuza 3 so beloved. The amount of sub stories, the amount of like genuinely good content, and the visual was just very not up to par to what you expect from RGG Studio. Like RGG Studio is a company that they haven't been doing the best, and what I mean by that, like their games have been very lukewarm, unfortunately, because like Pirate Yakuza, a lot of people were very mixed on. Yakuza Zero Director's Cut, people really did not care about that. Like their new feature with the whole raid mode, nobody really gave a fuck about. Like the Yakuza Director's Cut, like a lot of people didn't really like because it's not even on Steam anymore. They delisted Yakuza Zero. You cannot even buy Yakuza Zero anymore. Like that shit was wild to me on how this thing isn't just like the fact that you couldn't even have both versions, the original, the Yakuza Zero, and the Yakuza Zero Director Cut. And considering that Yakuza Zero came out in 2015, this game, the Director Cut from what I remember, it's $60, $60 to $50, which I think that's a bit of a scam because this came out 11 years ago now. So the fact that this remaster isn't necessarily a full, it's not really. They make it seem like it's a brand new game, which is really not. Like I know it said feature new cutscene, but it's not really a new cutscene. Like the fact that we have seen RGG Studio go so downhill. I was hoping that Nagoshi here would be able to have some competition so they could up one another because Nagoshi has so much he has so much talent. Like I really do believe that whatever this game was meant to be, it would have been phenomenal. Like had NetEase given them the full budget and let them go off the walls and have free creative control, I do think that this game could be really good. Now I know a lot of people criticized it because it is basically a a Yakuza clone, but I think that would have enticed people to at least giving it a try to see what makes this game stand out compared to Yakuza. Like I think with Nobushi with this studio, he might have been able to do something that Sega wasn't allowing him to do. So I think it does give him more flexibility with this new universe that they're trying to do something that they couldn't do with Yakuza. Like for example, Kiru, he cannot hit women. He did a lot of things that he cannot do because it's like in his DNA, and they just refuse do to do anything too dark with his character because after Kiwami 1 and 2 for the most part, nothing really really dark happens to Kiro necessarily. Like they try to play it safe, or at the very least, they do fake out. Like a lot of people that you think are dead in Yakuza, they come back alive. So there's no permanent consequences for the most part after Kiwami 2. Now with something like this, I do think it genuinely is possible to have an actual genuine competitor. It's such a shame that like again they only needed $44 million, which to a company like NetEase isn't necessarily they're not necessarily poor. They're not going to go bankrupt from offering $44 million. It's such a shame that they don't feel confident enough to invest in Negotiate Studio. When I guess I get it because Negotiate Studio, their game is a single player game, and NetEase for the most part, most of their more recent games have been multiplayer free to play games. Which nothing wrong with that, but I would like it if NetEase could spread their horizon. Like most of their more successful free to play games are like Once Human, Marvel Rivals, when Where We Meet, Destiny Rising, and all those games they're good or whatever, but it does limit the creativity when all their more popular games are free to play. It push the pressure on other people that they have to follow a certain trend. They have to follow that same model, that same method. They're saying that we can't do anything too creative. We might as well just do a free to play game, which I think is such a bit of a shame because not everyone wants a free to play multiplayer game. A lot of people do still want single player games. A lot of people do still want that there's still that hunger. And for NetEase, like again, they're such a big company here. Big company. Like 53 billion in 2019. I imagine they have grown since then. So it's just so disappointing to me that seeing that NetEase they're not willing to play ball with Nagoshi here because Nagoshi, I think, like I said before, I do think he could do extraordinary well with this game. Like again, with him having more control and more freedom potentially, like the fact that this studio is already facing closure after only 4 years. This studio was created 4 years ago, and the fact that the studio might get canceled already, that is crazy to me. But again, you do really see cases like that happening where something like I believe with Blue Point, they got let go fairly fast. Microsoft, they would let go a lot of people fairly fast. But it's just such a shame for something like Nagoshi here because they haven't even made their first game yet. And I imagine, like I said before, 44 million is that's like nothing to NetEase. Like I imagine the budget for Marvel Rivals was extraordinarily big because at least with Marvel Rivals, I mean, you got to use the Marvel name. So I imagine some of that money went to Marvel, and I imagine like there is so many marketing, so much licensing that I imagine a lot of money have went to Marvel Rivals to continually update it, to continually maintain it. At least with Gang of Dragon, this is a game that's like a one transaction fee type thing. Once this game comes out, they're not going to pay more money unless they want to do DLC updates, all that kind of stuff. But once the game comes out, they don't have to worry about continually paying this money, continually paying that fee for years at a time. Once the game comes out, that will show you whether or not this studio is worth keeping. Okay, at the very least, if you were if you were willing to give Nicosia a chance and let the game come out, and it turns out this game is bad, okay, maybe I can see your reasoning if you want to close down the studio. If this game does barely any sales, doesn't even scratch the radar, does horribly, it has negative reviews everywhere, maybe I could see the reasoning of them facing closure. But the fact that we're not even getting to see that chance, we're not even able to see that potential that potential at all, not going to see it realized at all, it does make me so disappointed. Like genuinely, like Nagoshi here, like he got done dirty, like truly. Like the fact that he has such a long history at Sega, and only to barely seemingly not have that long of a time at NetEase here. Like the fact that again he's only been at NetEase for oh my luck for 5 years, and the fact that that potential short tenure can be closed, that's disappointing for me. But regardless, I think that this is just a damn shame, truly. I am hoping nothing for the best for Negotiator. I am hoping that he's able to make the project that he truly desires and actually releases in a timely fashion without any major hiccup. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts on Ganga Dragon and the studio as a whole. What do you think this is a studio that's going to be let go or not have that much freedom or control to begin with? I am so curious on how Negoshi is going to be able to navigate this because it doesn't really seem like he had a whole lot of options. But we just have to see. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one.